one of the things we get asked a lot is, how do we fertilize our garden? What do we do and when do we do it? And the truth is, we don't actually do very much to it.
That's true. And we actually want to talk a little bit about it on this beautiful sunny day here. And so what we do, we kind of, depending on what kind it is, for example, the rhododendron here, we have like leftover pine that we just tuck in.
From our Christmas decorations.
That's true. And then we have also like leaves that we have collected and we can spread out, and also some cuttings from the perennials that we cut down. We kind of just leave that around, and we don't do so much, but what we do that we think is really great here before all the perennials, when they start to also come from the base again, because some of them look really dead, but they are starting to come. And what you can really help around here in the soil before they really start this new growing season is we have these chicken pellets, chicken poo, and
they're made from 100% chicken manure, ecological.
Yeah. Doesn't really smell that bad, but it's really great. It really dissolves quickly. And now you're sitting thinking, okay, it's super sunny. Why on earth are you doing it now? But we check the weather forecast and they are going to say rain. So it's really good to toss it out before rainfall coming, because then it really, your whole garden won't smell of chicken.
And that's a really good point. The reason why we don't use any sort of chemical or synthetic fertilizer, this is what we've always done. We typically do it here in the early spring. It's the beginning of March, and we try to check the weather. We want to do it when it rains, because what we're hoping for is that this is going to dissolve into the soil, start feeding those microbes, and really giving us the soil that we want. Because it's not about feeding the plants. So we don't think that we're fertilizing and strengthening plants. What we're doing is we're amending the soil, and we're creating a better environment for these perennials to grow. So that's the real reason why we fertilize.
Just want to come a little closer. You can see they look really nice. And so what we do, I just really like kind of drizzle just like that all the way around, like even give a little bit under the bushes here, like hydrangeas. We'll give everything just a good, and we use around 2 buckets of these. It's like 5 liters, and it also tells here reaches for 30 square meter, but this is actually around 2 we use for our whole garden here. You can use it really for your lawn, actually everything. So it's really
and another thing that we don't have to worry about, it's not really strong, so we don't burn anything.
No, because if you use other fertilizer, if it kind of hits some of the leaves, and then if you do it in sun, it can really burn those the foliage of, for example, like a bush. So this is really great to use for that as well.
This new flower bed of ours, we've also added something new to it, because it started with just sand and soil. We'll show you in a minute. True. And we've added a layer of compost. So let's look back to last weekend when we added that other layer. So today's the day that we add a new layer of compost to our newest flower bed and show it some extra love.
Yeah, and we actually last year we had a terrace here, so we had like as you can see here, really a lot of like just sand and old stones underneath in the good old days what they have here. And so we actually added some, right? We added some.
Yeah, we added a layer of horse manure. So there were these concrete pavers over this whole section, actually over, where the wooden terrace is as well. And we took those up, then we added a layer of horse manure mixed with straw to start adding that structure, mixed that in with the sand as best we could. But over the summer and over the winter, it got really, quite compacted, because it was basically horse manure and straw. So what we need to do today, you can see all the leaves that we've left from the wisteria, from the other cuttings, so they make great mulch. But we went to the recycle center, and we got compost that our municipality gives away for free. Yeah, it's really nice, right? And that's just available to take home for free. But this is what we'll be adding as a layer on top.
And it's actually all the compost that the local people come with, that they treat, so there's no like they burn it kind of, but then there's no weeds coming. So we're not gonna put a super thick layer on, but kind of a layer on top, so it can really work together with all the old stuff we put in from last year. So it's really nice with a little bit more structure in here, so they're gonna thrive a little bit more, so it's not so compact. And then over time they're gonna really thrive in this new soil here.
Exactly. So let's get started.
Yeah.
And we have bags and bags of it. You can see here. And while we're flipping this way, look at this morning. Thank the Lord, it's going to be a beautiful one.
So we finished adding on this topsoil, and it's just like a little top layer here because as we told you earlier, it already has the horse manure, so it didn't need a lot on top, but it's really going to do well. And the reason why we do it now is because before all the perennials come up, so we don't have to disturb them at all. And it also kind of suppresses the weed here because it is a new established flower bed compared to the other ones further up. These ones get a better chance to really come up, and then later on they're going to cover all the weeds. And it just looks really pretty with all this black on top. That really gives a nice touch to this new flower bed. And it's kind of more even now because it got really compact with it was sand under. As we said, we tried to mix it a bit around so the sand and the soil works a bit better. Because if you only have sandy soil, the water will really flush away really quickly, and there will be no nutrition left in the sand. So it's really important mixing that in if you live near the beach, for example. But so we mixed all this in together, and it's going to be really good and much better for the perennials to live in. So we're super excited we did it now, and now it's all finished. And here we actually, because we're not so afraid of adding too much, of course it was just kind of like a little top layer, but as you can see here, the lupins are coming up, and the Jakobstie here, things are just coming up through the new soil. So
Yeah,
I'm
the
not
sedum
really
is looking really good.
That's true. So we're not really nervous adding too much. All things are just kind of coming up here. We have some spring bulbs also doesn't mind. They'll come up anyway of all this. And then we'll really get a good structure to this new, because it is quite new, this flower bed. But like the other ones, that's all what we do to these flower beds. We don't do that much to it. We don't go out and buy a bunch of new soil or topsoil every year. Our garden doesn't really need it.
No, and that's another thing to remember. If we can encourage you when it comes to fertilizing, if your perennials are growing, if your garden's growing and looking healthy, then chances are it has exactly what it needs. Oftentimes it's kind of easy to fall prey to you have to do this or get this flower booster thing to have more flowers. But if your garden's healthy, you'll know it. And chances are adding a little chicken manure, something as simple as this, will really make a big difference compared to going out and buying something synthetic.
So another area, not only out in the garden, we also have these raised flower beds where we have our dahlias in. And of course they have some compost that is really great, but here we also just add a little amount of this chicken pellets here, because then we will mix it in. And we actually also have some astrantia here that we have here until the dahlias go in, and then I'll repot those and plant them out somewhere else. But it's great use to have these flower beds. And our goal is actually next winter to add a bunch of tulips. Is our next project. So we kind of also use these raised flower bed throughout the whole season. So it's not only waiting for dahlias when they come in, because they take over the whole summer and then all the way until the first frost sets in. But we talked about that'll be a nice display here with the bunch, have so many tulips set here. So that's the next goal. And they also like this really great spot right here. So that's nice with a lot of plants here as well.
While you're there, I'll show these buckets that are back here. These are buckets of pure compost. We made it ourselves. And we put it in these buckets until the pots are ready to go in and around the greenhouse.
And there's eggshells, coffee filters,
yeah,
banana peels, everything.
Yeah, maybe we didn't compost 100% the right way, but it has worked for us.
Yeah.
We think our garden's we enjoy it out here, so
Right.
we're kind of happy with it.
Maybe we go up here and do the hydrangea bit.
Yeah, more than what. You're the one with the touching the chicken
Okay.
manure.
Okay. But up here also, like, here I don't just really toss them. I kind of go a little bit under, just so it really doesn't get tangled up in the dried flower tops here. But those are just cut back here later in March, beginning of April, when there's no more really frost. But that'll give some good nutrition to these ones. They'll get a bunch of new flowers. And here also notice we put a little bit of pines in here, just to give them a really good start. Really go around here. There we go. So almost done here. And I just want to show you, look at all this green here. It's tulips. And we've chosen some that really hardy, that comes back every year. Darwin and Van Eyck, different colors, really a mix. And that's going to be really pretty here. And up here we also have like a bunch of leaves left over. That's really going to be good in this area because it's quite dry. So the leaves will also work really nice to keep, let the soil be really moist and not dry out too quickly with these much bigger trees that take out all the water from the soil. Okay, so we are almost finished. Just need to do this last big flower bed. And I just want to show you, look at these, all the spring things coming. The Kaiserkrone coming up here. Those are really pretty.
And they're going to be so much happier when this soil gets a little bit of extra love.
Right?
Right?
Yay.
So I hope that answers a lot of the questions about how we fertilize and how we take care of our garden. If you have any questions, as always, please drop them in the comments. You know that we enjoy reading and we try to reply to everybody. So until then, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us this afternoon.
Thank you for watching. Moin!